This episode is sponsored by Squarespace.
It's so hot again. I mean, I blame you. I'm going to be honest, Captain. I do blame you. I mean, you did say, back then, if me and you combine our powers, we can fix it. You f***ed up, didn't you? I mean, look at Cat. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 48. Do you remember last episode when I was talking about how hot it was in here? Well, it's even hotter now. Today's going to be a fun episode. I mean, how do you feel about rocks? So I made these rocks out of XPS foam, which is, this stuff. What every D&D player has a bunch of, and they just make everything out of, basically. It's so easy to use. I learned that technique from Eric at Eric's Hobby Workshop, and then he made a video about it. I mean, I just watched through the window. I don't think he knows, actually, don't tell him that. XPS foam is becoming more and more expensive because we need more insulation than ever, do we? Do we? And I need some rocks. So I was thinking, what do I have a lot of, basically? What do I have a lot of? This crap. Corrugated cardboard. Corrugated fiberboard is the technical term, I think. I've got so much of this, and I'm sure you have. It's going to be a bit of an experimentation episode. I'm going to be just, messing around. But if I can get anything that looks kind of like that, I'll be happy. Rocks, I hope you like, everyone likes rocks, don't they? But just before that, I just need to fix something. I don't see the point. He doesn't even use them. He doesn't move anywhere. He just stays. So I wanted to set myself a challenge. When I was a kid, all I had was corrugated cardboard to make terrain, but I never thought I could make something like a rock. So that's what the challenge is. And using only cardboard. I mean, glue and paint doesn't count. Maybe a bit of sand, but you know what I mean. 99.8% cardboard. So, seeing as I've got so much cardboard, I want to try and pulp some. That's what you do when you recycle cardboard. It gets pulped and turned into something else. So to pulp your cardboard, you need to soak the stuff in water. Just fill the yeah, that's better. Let the cardboard get nice and mushy. When you accidentally leave cardboard stuff out in the rain, like that, basically. And here's some I soaked last night. It's pretty squishy. It's not really pulp yet, but I think the next stage will help with that. So someone kindly bought this blender for me from my Amazon wishlist. Use an old blender if you can find one. This I've had for a long time. Don't use a stick to push the cardboard down. Just add more water. And I think, it's the consistency of like soggy Weetabix. I guess that's pulp. I mean, it's pretty smelly. I'm going to be honest. It does smell a bit funny. But that looks pretty pulp to me. I'm just going to let that dry for a bit. So this episode is sponsored by Squarespace. Now, if you've ever wanted to make a website and you're not really sure how to do it, Squarespace is the place to go. Look, you get provided with hundreds of templates like these just here. And they're all pretty cool designs, I'll give them that. And say you want to make a website about pickles. Look, there we go. There's a pickle website. You can literally open this up, change the names. There you go. You have a pickle website. So I decided to make a website of my own for bill making stuff. Now, I've made plenty of websites in the past, and I have to say that Squarespace is the easiest and most intuitive website builder I've ever used. It's so easy to get great effect. I mean, look at this. This took me like 5 minutes. So if you want to make a website, click on the link down below. There is a sale going on. There you go. So, whilst the rocks are going to be 100% cardboard, the base is going to be foam board because, who wants a warped base? Not me. Cardboard doesn't make good base B. You know what I mean. So to get my basic rock shape, I'm going to be using a hot glue gun to stick down loads of pieces of cardboard. Now, kind of cut them out into, whatever shape you want, but try and keep them similar, each layer, not too drastic a difference, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's near impossible to cut the same shape every time, but if you get them kind of close enough and then get them progressively smaller or progressively bigger as they get to the top, you know, whatever you like, really. And there we go, there's my first rock. I think I'm going to make 2 or 3 of these. Let's make another one. Now they just look like stacks of cardboard, I hear you say. Yeah, they do at the moment, but that's what this experimentation time is all about. We're going to work out some way of making them not look like cardboard, using cardboard. You see where I'm going? Yeah? So I established earlier you're allowed to use PVA glue in this imaginary challenge of mine, but basically it's very wet, and I'm just going to mix a bit of PVA glue with all of them to help them kind of bind. So yeah, I'm going to try first with just plain PVA glue and pulp. So now I want to try and mix in a bit of fine sand. This is the one I would have money on. I imagine using it as an aggregate should kind of help it bond together. But you know, foreshadowing. Hello, Miss Ellswood. Now this is my jar of little bits of stone, different variations of sand. Basically anything I don't use goes in here. So I'm going to try to use this PVA glue with bits and pieces. This really does look like cat sick. This is exactly what my cat sick looks like. And of course some baking powder. I want to try and mix some baking powder with this for some fine kind of grit. I'm not sure how it's going to react. Oh my. Sound like George the Decay there. That wasn't intentional. Yeah, I'm not sure how much use this is going to be. But yeah, we'll try and stick some on there and see how that ends up. And of course, to finish off, I'm going to just mix a bit of everything. Just stick it all together and see how this one ends up. There we go, a bit of everything. There. Yeah, all done, all fixed. Try not to melt again, alright, because I'm running out of plastic forks and I just don't like it that much, to be honest with you. I don't know. I mean, the one good thing about this heat wave, the one good thing, I can pot stuff in the garden and it dries pretty quickly. So there you go. Swings and roundabouts. Kill me. So after about 2 hours in the sun, only being about 2 foot away from the surface of the sun, you know, they dried pretty quickly and they all look disgusting in their own way. So up first is the plain PVA glue and pulp, and it kind of flattened a lot, and that actually, funny enough, that does look like my cat's sick when it dries, but it's really solid and really tough. That's actually looks quite useful. But the next one, the fine sand, my sure place winner, is just literally a bit of crumbled sand. Maybe too much sand, not very good. So the PVA glue mixed with sand and gritty bits is solid as a rock for some reason. Funny, I don't know why it isn't just like the sand one, but it isn't. It's really solid. I think this is the most promising one so far. Yeah. Now the baking powder just ended up like bird crap, let's be honest, but it is actually really solid as well. It's kind of like it comes straight off like that, and that's quite a cool texture. I mean, maybe it is bird crap. I mean, I wasn't watching it the whole time. And finally, a bit of everything. Now you think this would have the strength and the benefits of all of the above, but no, it's got the weaknesses of each of them. It's squishy, gritty, sandy, and it just, yeah, smells funny. So now we have our pulp paste cardboard mix stuff that's, you know, that kind of might work. Let's try and add it to one of these cardboard stacks. I don't want to do it on all of them straight away because I don't want to ruin all of them straight away. I mean, you know, I'm not mad. So if you ever try this, make sure you try and hide every single one of those little corrugated cardboard holes and maybe go horizontally like that, like layered sandstone. Just a bit of advice, you know. And I was actually really pleasantly surprised. Look at that, that is solid. It kind of, I was worried I was going to lose some detail, but it kind of shrunk fit to the cardboard underneath, and it showed off all the layers. So, being that the whole thing is about 99.8% cardboard, we want to seal it. Now you can use Mod Podge and black paint. I just use PVA glue and black paint because I'm not made of money, let's be honest. You'll get those craft snobs out there saying that PVA glue is not going to seal it, but it does. You know, I'm not going to take this thing in the bath.
And there we go, that's nice and solid as a rock. There's a little dad joke for you there. Not a normal build dad joke where I make fun of dads, you know, just a normal dad joke, which just generally means a bad joke. Look, I've gone on about it too long. Look at that. So the painting part of the video is where I usually, it's usually story time with Bill. You know, I usually come up with some sort of lore or narrative. But I'm going to be honest with you, this rock is just the rock. I'm sorry, everyone. I mean, I know you all sat there on the floor in a semicircle around me, you know, mouths closed, ears open, waiting for story time, but it's a rock. As you can tell, I'm quite excited at the moment. Thanks for noticing. But this thing is going to be amazing to dry brush, so just shh. He's doing it. Dry brush. That was good. Okay, now for a bit of colour. I know you're all sitting there thinking, he's just going to paint it sand and just leave it like that, and that's not true. Okay, I'm going to paint these little lines of kind of reddy brown in there, and you know, basically create lines of colour that go all the way around. Now, anyone who doesn't know, you know, sandstone is compressed sand and stone over a long time, and there's different colours depending on the age, what the, you know, the environment was like at the time that it was compressed. So, you know, each kind of different colour represents maybe a catastrophic event. There you go, there's some lore. There's some lore for some rocks. I've made some lore for a rock. So look how many lines there are. There's probably been lots of catastrophic events in this world that this rock lives in. Look, whatever, I tried. Okay, anyway, let's just cover this whole thing in some brown oil wash. And we can all just get on with our lives, shall we? So there you go. I think they turned out pretty good. I mean, I'm just gonna, yeah, so that's one. You wouldn't know it was corrugated cardboard, to be honest with you. But let's compare with the old one. This one looks slightly more realistic, in my opinion. I mean, I know this was a while ago when I made this. I probably could do it better. But considering this is precious XPS foam and this is just generic cardboard crap, I think, you know, and if you want a lot of them, I'm going to go with this one, I think. You know, do my bit for the planet. Hey, Captain. The paint job, maybe, I don't know, I quite like the paint job, but you can paint them however you like. So it works. Let me know if you enjoyed this episode down below. It's a bit different, you know, well, not really, not that different for me, to be honest. But I think next time I'll probably build a robot. Yeah, let's be honest. Anything from you? I'm running out of plastic forks. This is getting ridiculous. So there we go, there's a few rusters for scowl there. I'm actually genuinely surprised that these turned out as good. I was actually panicking in this video, like, you know, why are people going to want to watch me mess around with soggy cardboard? Look, but I think the effects are good. You let me know down below, honest answers down below, and thank you patrons. I've been on holiday, so thank you patrons for paying for my holiday, only joking. Thank you patrons for sticking with me while I've been on holiday, and I hope you enjoyed those secret sketchbook pages that I shared just